This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to the Pit Stop, where you are the real star of today's show, because we're just here to talk about the sim racing news. And as you'd expect, sitting here between Christmas or the holiday time of year and New Year's, it is sort of that quiet time of year. We don't get a lot of big New Year's Day announcements in the world of sim racing, so it's just sort of that trickle effect. And I actually was sort of up in the air as to whether I was going to do any live streams during this week between the holidays, but I decided I like hanging out with you guys, and there's always something to talk about. So we'll just keep today short and brief, and then I actually finally got rid of my family. That sounds bad, but had family in town over the last few days. Finally have a little peace and quiet over the next couple of days. I'll be able to get some work done, and then it's back to friends and family again for the New Year's weekend, which is coming up quickly. But it means that I'm going to finally get to a few projects that I have in the background. So as soon as I finish this stream, I'm going to be going back to some basics. I got a DIY handbrake and shifter out of that Xbox button controller that I'm working on, and a few other things up in store as well. So that is what's going on in the background, and I hope you guys all had a great holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. And we're still in that time of year where you can get a good deal on just about anything in sim racing. So I'm not going into any specific deals today, but if you are looking for software or hardware and you have a little bit of money in your pocket, Santa is kind to you, you might want to look out there because you'll probably find some good deals and sales over the next week. So let's get into today's news, and then we'll bring today's show to a close. Of course, if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, anything that I missed, anything that went on over the weekend, anything you know of in sim racing, please let us know in the chat, and we will take a diversion and talk on those topics. And again, if there's anything I bring up that you want to talk about in greater detail, let's just kind of talk about it. So, starting off with Forza, over the weekend, they had some free content, sort of a Christmas gift for the Forza drivers. I see one of you out there. Scoot is asking about Forza 7. Forza 7 is a fine game. I'm not going to call it a sim. I'm going to call it a game. It is a good driving game with some decent physics, some exceptional graphics, some decent sound, some good gameplay, and you're going to find a good crowd of people out there to play with. You're in that general matchmaking system of the console world, so it's not quite as competitive as some of the PC sims will allow you to get with groups that you can run with each and every week. So that's my opinion on my quick nutshell version of Forza for you there. Max, you got a hello? You don't care? You're back there. Hi, Michael. Hello, everybody. Aceto had an update over the weekend, I believe, wasn't it? Or even back to Friday, if I'm not mistaken. RGR's got himself 2 butt kickers. Very cool. LUT installation files ruined by Christmas. Ah, rough. So, I'm finding that today is the day that I'm very slow. I'm a little overweight today, eating so much. I'm tired from a lot of stuff went on this last week. Anyway, okay, so what's going on in Forza? They unlocked the Aston Martin V12 Zagato, the freezer burn driver gear suit, which they show in the girls' version here, and the new Jag. I love the Jaguars. I think they're gorgeous cars. And that shot that is our today's screenshot, the Ferrari. El Bucho, preaching is preaching. So anyway, that's all that's going on with Forza. Not a whole lot there. Gran Turismo, the only story is that they had a big issue in the multiplayer world over the weekend. And they had a Lewis Hamilton competition going on. Is that what broke it? Was it just that tons of people getting it as a Christmas gift and playing it? Was it just that so many people had the time off? But anyway, the multiplayer was broken and it has been resolved. So you can get back to your Gran Turismo GT Sport Racing. Hi, Max. How you doing, buddy? Next up, iRacing had another Red Bull GRC. This is their big televised race that they're doing on RaceSpot TV. And the first one was Mitchell de Jong won. And what do you know? Back-to-back. He wins it again. So, again, that's something. I love the GRC cars. I love that whole discipline being added to iRacing. And when I drove it, I thought, man, this is really, really realistic. And seeing Mitchell, who is a real-life GRC driver, doing so well in it is probably a testament to just how good the sim is. I mean, there's nobody in the service with more laps in the GRC than him. And we probably mean that both on the level of sim and real life. So, and then the last story, really comes to us from Raceroom, and I'm not going to play it. I'll pull it up real quick, but they did a really cool video, simulation versus reality, and I'm not going to play the video because they'll just pull it down if I do. But if you want to see what it's like at Nordschleife in a 911 GT3R, that video is there. So you can go to the Raceroom Twitter feed and get the link there. And you'll see 911 versus 911 at Nordschleife and what their game... I mean, looking at this image, I paused it, and at first glance, it would be hard to tell which is your real life versus which is the sim. And I think that they even got a car they're trailing in the video here, so that's pretty cool. Worth watching. Those are always fun videos to see just how exact our sims have gotten, both in sight, sound, speed, distance, the dimensions of the tracks themselves, the visual graphics that you see. So, very cool video there, and you should check that out just to tide you over as we're in this slowed down week here. iRacing messed up their discounts. First I've heard about that. Barry. Automobilista, I believe, is at the end of their line, and at this point, I'm not sure. I'm a little behind on software and getting everybody the attention they deserve. We've talked about AMS quite a bit. They did pretty well in our poll in some categories as well. So, but at 1.5, I believe they're at the end of the rotation. What I really need to do is talk to the guys at Riza about the next gen. What is the next one going to be? What's it going to be called? What disciplines are going to be in it? Is it going to be open? Is it going to be on R Factor 1, R Factor 2, or their own engine? I have so many questions for the guys over at Riza when it comes to Automobilista and other things. So, anyway, that pretty much does it as far as the news. Like I said, it's a slow news day. Only other thing I'll just do is really quickly move on to plugging our own personal stuff. Beamers, so tomorrow night we'll have our practice Wednesday night at 6 p.m. We will be there for that. Thursday and Friday night is the racing. Should be there for both of those. What is the date of New Year's Eve? Yeah, that's not until Monday is actually New Year's Day. So yeah, we'll be there for Thursday and Friday races. So that's 6 p.m. and come on out for that. And then beyond that, starting up January 4th will be our next season on Sim Racing Systems, and the voting is in, and this is exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at the McLaren F1 GTR. This starts Thursday, January 4th on Sim Racing Systems using Assetto Corsa. First race of the season, Suzuka, Road America, Imola, Brands Hatch, Spa, and Laguna Seca. Very much looking forward to that season. Not even out of this season, so we have 1 week to go. This is the final week in the Battle of the Beamers series, and it's been a heck of a season so far. So hopefully much more of that to come in next season as well. The other thing is, it looks like we hit our quota. So as long as we can maintain 50 drivers for next season, I will go ahead and put up a Simpit t-shirt. I think I'm going to make it a red one. So this is the orange and white. Next one will be a special. It's going to be a red and white logo for the winner of next season's McLaren F1 GTR, provided that we have at least 50 drivers in the series, which I think we should have no problem reaching. So looking forward to that. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's news. I'm going to finish this. Like I said, I'm going to get back on the workbench, work on those DIY projects, videotaping that. We have our Patreon program going. We have a lot of you guys hanging out. I might do some special invite, let you guys just kind of watch me work. We'll talk about that on Patreon and see if you guys want to take part in that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have the link to it in the description of the show, and you can find out what I talk about. We all talk on Discord and hang out after hours 24/7, so that's something you can look into as well. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew and making it so fun to do the daily news. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.